Vice President J.D. Vance is on his way back from Switzerland after 18 hours of negotiations with Iran. He says progress has been made in laying the groundwork for a final peace deal.
But as CBS LA's Natalie Brand tells us, there's still a ways to go, and skepticism in D.C. is running high.
From the Oval Office Monday, President Trump touted progress in negotiations with Iran after a weekend of talks.
We're doing very well in terms of negotiating a fair and reasonable deal.
Vice President J.D. Vance, who left Switzerland this afternoon, says Iran has agreed to allow nuclear inspectors into the country and to establish a dedicated line of communication to avoid incidents and miscommunications over the Strait of Hormuz.
We set up the mechanism to ensure not only the Straits of Hormuz are open, but will stay open. We think about 15 million barrels of oil come out. That's one of the reasons why oil is so low right now.
The two sides say there are also new efforts to de-escalate continued tensions in Lebanon between Israel and Iran-backed Hezbollah. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said Monday that Israeli forces will remain in the southern part of the country.
We established a security zone in Lebanon, and we shall keep it as long as is necessary to protect our people.
The vice president acknowledged there's still a lot of work to do in reaching a final deal. Already, lawmakers on both sides of the aisle are criticizing the economic relief offered to Iran.
This president has led this nation into a disaster. We have surrendered our power, we have capitulated to the enemy, and they now are mocking us.
H.R. McMaster, who served as national security advisor during the first Trump administration, says he's skeptical at this stage.
If the long-term situation is that this government continues to be driven and constrained by the ideology of the revolution, then I think anything we do is just temporary and kind of a pause.
The Treasury Department Monday announced it's temporarily lifting restrictions to allow Iran to sell oil, citing progress made in the talks so far. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
CBS News' Executive Director of Elections and Surveys, Anthony Salvanto, joined us on CBS LA Mornings with the findings of a new CBS News poll on the war with Iran.
Now, we asked if Americans feel like it's made Iran less of a nuclear threat.
Has the U.S. permanently stopped Iran's nuclear program? Heading into this, no, 7 in 10 feeling like the U.S. has not achieved that. And in a similar vein, there are a lot of elements like stopping Iran from threatening other countries that a majority feels are still not done. So the administration would still have some work to do convincing Americans that these goals have been met.
Well, oil and gas also high on everyone's mind as we get closer to a peace deal. The White House addressing concerns tonight on the CBS Evening News. And in the midst of turmoil and war between his two homelands, a young Iranian business owner is merging history with a cultural movement.
I recently spoke with that business owner as more Iranian Americans find an appetite for tapping into their culture and history.
It kind of looks like it's almost like the same color embroidered on because it's kind of supposed to like represent like Persepolis.
Meet Ryan Blorchi, economics student turned clothing designer. This is so cool.
I was just out there like working on designs all day, just drawing instead of studying, drawing when I should have been studying. The detail on this is insane.
Those sketches morphing into Hood Office, a jewelry and clothing line celebrating the history and culture of pre-Islamic Iran.
What I really like about Iranian history is the patterns on a Persian rug. It's all interconnected. The mythology, and the history, the legends and like the truth. And it's kind of like one beautiful but also sad like love story of like Iranian people's resilience.
Every design here means something.
They had like armored horses and like cavalry like 1,000 years before like Rome or any other civilization. And this is like a Sasanian king, Bahram, and he is a very interesting figure in Iranian history and mythology because not only is he in the Shahnameh, but he's also a real-life king.
A celebration of heritage, poetry, Zoroastrianism over 5 empires. A far cry from the turmoil that has embroiled his parents' homeland since before he was born. His dream now that Iranians in Iran can one day buy and wear his pieces. And it's kind of sad that they can't buy it.
It is a little bit, yeah, it's not even a little bit. It makes me sad. There's There's a lot of potential for Iran that is not being utilized, and I hope to see some changes so that maybe in my life I could contribute to making Iran a better place.
Nostalgia for a homeland under attack, for its history, its people, and what it means to those forced from it. A love story traced through the Shahnameh, Iran's ancient epic of triumph, loss, and resilience. A story that century after century is still being written.
It's not really about making money. I'm losing money actually doing this. It's not about you know, the clothes so much. I'm going to make the clothes better, obviously, but it's kind of just about the purpose of what I'm doing and trying to kind of leave something behind after I die.
Yeah, and you know, he says he makes his clothes, his pieces and jewelry for all Iranians, all Americans. It's a really tough thing to try to stay apolitical during times of war and all the emotions that go with it, but he hopes all of this can unify.
Well,
So.
I saw a few pieces there that I really liked.
I know,
for
it's
sure.
beautiful pieces.
Very, very talented.
Yes, really impressive young man. All right, well, after their World Cup draw against Belgium at SoFi Stadium, Iran's national soccer team left a note in its locker room.
The team wanted to say thank you to the city of LA for its hospitality. The note ended with a call for peace, respect, and friendship among nations as Iran kept its hopes of reaching the knockout stage alive. The team has spent the tournament based in Mexico and commuting, I should say, to the U.S. for matches because of restrictions surrounding their stay in the country, while a number of Iran's team staff and officials have been banned.
Triple digits are coming to some communities in our next weather.
And meteorologist Alex Biston is back with an update. I never liked that decade, the 100s. All right, thank you so much, Alex. And tonight on CBS LA at 6, breaking news and